Hello everyone. Today I am going to start new topic from your syllabus, that is anti-hyperlipidemic agents. And for this topic there is a series of lectures. Today I am going to start lecture 1 from anti-hyperlipidemic agents. In today's lecture we will discuss about introduction to anti-hyperlipidemic agents, introduction to hyperlipidemia, therapeutic approaches for the treatment and management of hyperlipidemia, and classification of anti-hyperlipidemic agents with their structures. So first of all, what is anti-hyperlipidemic agents? The pharmacological agents which reduce or lower the levels of lipids and lipoproteins in the blood are called anti-hypertensive agents. The drugs which reduces or decreases the lipid or lipoprotein level in the blood, right, to the normal level. In hyperlipidemia, what happens? There is increase in level of lipid or lipoprotein in the blood. So these drugs helps to reduce the increased level of lipids and lipoproteins in the blood. That's why they are known as the anti-hypertensive agents. They are used in the treatment of hyperlipidemia in case of obesity and also used in prevention of cardiovascular diseases. Hyperlipidemia leads to the different cardiovascular disease, right? Hyperlipidemia, it is the condition in which lipid or lipoprotein level increases than normal level. That's why it affects the blood flow as well as structures of blood vessels, and that's why it affects the cardiovascular system. So that's why they produces the different cardiovascular diseases, and that's why this drug anti-hyperlipidemic agents also used for the prevention of cardiovascular diseases that is caused due to the hyperlipidemia. Now let's see the introduction or overview about the hyperlipidemia. An increase in plasma lipids, particularly cholesterol, is a common feature of atherosclerosis. Right? What is atherosclerosis? Atherosclerosis is a condition involving arterial damage which may lead to the ischemic heart disease or myocardial infarction as well as cerebral vascular diseases. Right? So increased plasma level of lipids, particularly cholesterol. Cholesterol is a one type of lipids, or you can say lipoproteins, right? And this condition, increased level of cholesterol into the blood, is known as hyperlipidemia and also known as sometimes lipoproteinemia, right? Hyperlipidemia or hyperlipoproteinemia, right? Now, what is cholesterol? As we know that cholesterol is a steroid having the steroidal nucleus and is necessary for life because it is a precursor of various sex hormones and corticosteroids. And we know the importance of sex hormones as well as corticosteroids into the human body, right? So cholesterol is important molecule into the body. It is also useful in maintaining the integrity of the cell wall. That is very important one, right? Cholesterol help to maintain the integrity of the cell wall. Now, hyperlipidemia is the disease in which there is a increased plasma level of lipids in the form of lipoproteins, right? High levels of cholesterol causes atherosclerosis, and atherosclerosis is the major cause of heart disease, as we discussed, right? Atherosclerosis is a state in which there is a hardening of arteries occur. Hardening of arteries occur, and that is due to the accumulation and deposition of the fat molecule or lipid molecules, right, into the large arteries, right. Along with the fat deposit, there is a accumulation of cholesterol, cellular waste and fibrous tissue into the blood vessels, right. That's why that will lead to the reduction in the elasticity of the arteries, right. Arteries loses its elasticity due to hardening of the wall, right. Due to hardening of the wall, blood vessels or arteries lose its elasticity, right. Elasticity, that means as blood flow from the arteries, then arteries get expanded, right, and when blood pressure decreases, arteries become contracted, right. So this type of property, that is elasticity, is lost due to the hardening of arteries, and that is hardening of the arteries, that is because of the deposition of the lipids or lipoproteins, right. Now this hyperlipidemia is the root cause of various heart problems, right, and it causes the atherosclerosis, right. So ultimately hyperlipidemia or hyperlipoproteinemia as well as atherosclerosis leads to the different problems related to cardiovascular system, right. So lipids like triglycerides and cholesterol circulated into the blood, right, and that is in the form of lipoproteins, right. As we know that triglyceride and cholesterol are circulated into the blood vessels or into the flow of blood in the form of lipoproteins, and these lipoproteins are large particles that is containing a non-polar core, and that non-polar core is surrounded by a polar coat of phospholipids, right. Now, depending upon the size and density as well as amount of triglycerides and cholesterol esters in the core, lipoproteins are classified into different 6 classes. For example, chylomicrons, chylomicrons remnants, VLDL, IDL, LDL and HDL. These all are the different types of lipoprotein which are present in our body, and this all lipoproteins shows the different function into the body related to metabolism as well as transfer of the triglyceride and cholesterol, right. Let's see the one by one function of the these lipoproteins. First one is chylomicron. Chylomicron is nothing but the lowest density lipoprotein, right, and that help to transport triglyceride that is obtained from the diet, right. So function of chylomicron is dietary triglyceride transport, right. They transport the triglyceride that is obtained from the diet, right, to the tissue. Now second one is chylomicron remnants. It has function of dietary cholesterol transport, right. They cholesterol remnants, they are formed from the chylomicrons, right, and VLDL also, right. When chylomicrons and VLDL loses the triglycerides, it becomes the chylomicron remnants, right. And the function of chylomicron remnants is that transportation of the dietary cholesterol to the tissue. Next one is VLDL, that is very low density lipoprotein, right, very low density lipoprotein that transport the triglyceride that is synthesized into the liver, right. VLDL has the function that is transport of endogenous triglyceride. Endogenous triglyceride, that means triglyceride that is synthesized within the body, that is from the liver, right? And chylomicron has the also function of transportation of triglyceride, but they transport the triglyceride that is obtained from the diet source, right? Dietary triglyceride transported by the chylomicrons, while endogenous triglyceride is transported by VLDL to the tissue, right? And this type of triglyceride is synthesized by the liver. Then IDL. IDL is intermediate density lipoproteins, right? Intermediate density lipoproteins. They are formed from chylomicrons and VLDL, that is after losing the triglycerides, right? And function of IDL is that transport of cholesterol esters and triglyceride to the liver, and that is source of LDL, right? Cholesterol obtained from the LDL and triglyceride from the LDL, that is transported to the liver by IDL, right? Intermediate density lipoprotein transport the cholesterol and triglyceride to the liver, that is formed from the LDL, right? Now LDL is low density lipoproteins, and this low density lipoprotein that is formed from the intermediate density lipoproteins. Function of LDL is that transport of cholesterol to tissue and liver, right? LDL causes the transportation of cholesterol to the tissue as well as to the liver, right? Next one is HDL, that is high density lipoproteins. It is synthesized in the liver and small intestine, right? Keep in mind that high density lipoprotein is synthesized in liver and small intestine. It helps in transporting cholesterol from tissue to the liver. Very important function of HDL is that it helps to transport cholesterol from tissue to the liver. That means function of HDL is that removal of the cholesterol from the tissue, right? Stored cholesterol is removed by the high density lipoprotein. That's why this high density lipoprotein HDL is also known as the good cholesterol, right? While LDL is known as the bad cholesterol, right? So LDL has the function of transportation of the cholesterol to the tissue. They store the cholesterol, while HDL remove the stored cholesterol from the tissue. That's why HDL is known as good cholesterol and LDL is known as the bad cholesterol, right? HDL is beneficial for our body, right? Now, therapeutic approaches for the treatment and management of the hyperlipidemia or hyperlipoproteinemia, right? Hyperlipoproteinemia. These drugs act by reducing the production of lipoprotein or by increasing their removal from the blood. This drug, that means anti-hyperlipidemic drug, act by reducing the production of lipoprotein or by increasing their removal from the blood. And the main aim of the treatment of this drug is to decrease plasma cholesterol, right? To decrease plasma cholesterol either by reducing its production or by increasing their removal, right? And the risk of atherosclerosis is also associated with an increased plasma cholesterol, as we know that, right? Increased plasma cholesterol leads to the atherosclerosis, right? And also high LDL to HDL ratio, right? LDL to HDL ratio increases, that will lead to the hyperlipidemia, and highly LDL to HDL ratio leads to the atherosclerosis. Right? There are several mechanisms by which the pharmacological agent that are anti-hyperlipidemic agent can affect the metabolism of cholesterol and the relative levels of the various cholesterol, that is that they carrying the lipoproteins in the plasma. Right? This mechanism involve the inhibition of the synthesis of cholesterol, alter the relative level of different plasma lipoprotein, sequester bile acid in the intestine, inhibit cholesterol absorption in the intestine. Right? So these are the probable mechanism by which these agents decreases the cholesterol level into the blood by altering the or by affecting the metabolism of cholesterol. Right? Let's see the classification of anti-hyperlipidemic agents. There are different 6 classes of anti-hyperlipidemic agents. First one is HMG coenzyme A reductase inhibitors. Second one is bile acid sequestrants. Third one is lipoprotein lipase activators. They are also known as fibric acid derivatives. Right? Fourth class is agent that inhibit triglyceride synthesis as well as cause lipolysis. Fifth class is agent that inhibit LDL oxidation. Right? And last one is miscellaneous agents. It have different 3 subclasses. Right? So let's see one by one class with its examples and their structures. So first one is HMG coenzyme A reductase inhibitors. Right? Now HMG coenzyme A reductase inhibitors has 2 subclasses, hexahydronaphthalene ring system, and second subclass is other than hexahydronaphthalene ring system. Right? Now hexahydronaphthalene ring system derivatives contain the hexahydronaphthalene ring, right? And the second class is other than hexahydronaphthalene ring system, that means HMG coenzyme A reductase inhibitors, which does not contain hexahydronaphthalene ring system. Let's see the examples with their structures. First, hexahydronaphthalene ring system containing HMG coenzyme A reductase inhibitors are lovastatin, simvastatin, pravastatin, etc. Right? So, see, in all drug contain hexahydronaphthalene ring system. First of all, naphthalene, that is 2 benzene ring are fused with each other, is known as naphthalene, right? And having total 5 double bond, that means 10 pi electrons, right? Total 5 pi bond. So in this C-all ring, among 5 double bond, pi bond, only 2 double bonds are present. That means 3 bonds are saturated, right? 3 bonds get saturated by hydrogenation. So that's why in place of 3 bond or 3 bond, pi bond are broken down, and at that places total 6 hydrogen atoms are added, right? That's why hexahydro. Hexahydro indicate the presence of 6 hydrogen atoms in naphthalene ring in place of 3 pi bond, right? That's why they are known as the hexahydronaphthalene ring system or their derivatives. right? So these all drugs have the hexahydronaphthalene structure, right? Other than hexahydronaphthalene ring system, examples are fluvastatin and atorvastatin. See, in this structure there is no any hexahydronaphthalene ring, right? But it contains the heterocyclic ring, right? That is the pyrrole. Here pyrrole ring is present, and here pyrrole that is fused with the benzene ring, right? That is heterocyclic ring present in fluvastatin and atorvastatin. Next, bile acid sequestrants. Examples are cholestyramine resin and cholestyramine, right? Both are the resin, right? Bile acid sequestrants are also known as the resins, right? This has the typical structure of main polymeric group. Here in cholestyramine resin, the structure is given is of typical structure of main polymeric group. That means this polymeric group is repeated and form the cholestyramine resin. It is the unit of this resin, right? And this unit or this group is repeated and form the long chain of resin, that is cholestyramine resin. Here also cholestyramine, structure of cholestyramine is given. Here dotted line on this nitrogen atom as well as here on both this nitrogen atom, dotted line indicate that this structure can be extended because it is large structure of resin. That's why this structure can be expanded by attaching the different monomer of this resin, right? So these are the structure of cholestyramine resin and cholestyramine. Both are the bile acid sequestrants. Next one is lipoprotein lipase activation or activator, and they are also known as the fibric acid derivatives. Example is clofibrate, right? Here see ester is present, right? COO, that is the indicate the presence of ester group, right? Fibrate, that is the ester of fibric acid, right? So this one is the clofibrate, fibric acid which contain in the chlorine, right? That's why clofibrate. Next class is agents that inhibit triglyceride synthesis and cause lipolysis, right? This drug cause the triglyceride synthesis inhibition and cause the lipolysis. Example is nicotinic acid. See, it is the nicotinic acid is nothing but the pyridine ring containing pyridine ring, 6-member heterocyclic ring with one nitrogen atom, that is pyridine ring, and having at third position carboxylic acid group. This is known as the nicotinic acid, right? And it is also known as the pyridine 3 carboxylic acid. Pyridine 3 carboxylic acid is IUPAC name for the nicotinic acid. Fifth class is agents that inhibit LDL oxidation, that is low density lipoprotein. This agent decreases the oxidation of the low density lipoprotein. Example is probucol. Here structure of probucol is given, right? See, two same part are attached with each other, right? Here the point of attachment of two similar part, right? Single part contain benzene ring having this group CH3 that is tertiary butyl group. Both tertiary butyl group are present. Two tertiary butyl group are present with one hydroxyl group. That's why it is bucol, right? And here one sulfur thio group is attached, right? And which is again attached with the ethyl group CH2CH3, right? And both similar unit are attached with each other that form the probucol. Last class, sixth class is miscellaneous agent. In miscellaneous agents, again there are three subclasses. First one is from plant source. The agents which are obtained from the plant source. Examples are gugulipid and beta-sitosterol. From the gugulipid, constituent used as anti-hyperlipidemic agent is that gugulsterol. Gugulsterol is obtained from the gugulipid, right, which has the steroidal structure, and second one is beta-sitosterol, which has again steroidal structure. So these agents which are obtained from the plant source, they are chemically steroidal in nature and that inhibit the cholesterol metabolism, right. Next subclass from miscellaneous agent is acyl coenzyme A, cholesterol acyl transferase inhibitor, ACAT inhibitors. Example is avacimib, right, and previously it was under investigation and coded as CI1011, right, but now it is marketed as a avacimib, right, which contain the sulfonamide group, right, and this sulfonamide group is attached with the benzene ring having the isopropyl group, right. On this benzene ring, two isopropyl group present, and on this benzene ring, three isopropyl groups are present, and which is linked with each other through this sulfonamide linkage, right. Third subclass of miscellaneous agent is cholesterol absorption inhibitors, right. This class is under investigation, that's why it is known as also investigational drugs, right. Example is azathimide, right, azathimide. It contains the lactone ring, right, beta-lactam ring, this one is the beta-lactam ring, and having the different substitution on this ring, right. One is phenol ring is attached with this heterocyclic ring as well as fluorophenyl ring, and another substituted by a fluorophenyl ring is attached with this central ring, that is the azathimide, right. So these are the different classes of anti-hyperlipidemic agents and their examples and their chemical structures, right. Now explanation of these different classes of anti-hyperlipidemic agents we will discuss into the next lecture. Thank you.